Hello Libra, welcome to your October 2016 Love in General readings. Quick reminder, if you're on Instagram, would love to have you following at Jane International. Also, I'll probably be setting up a Facebook as well. If I do, by the time I get these readings, then I will post it in the link below. But here we go for your love reading. Okay. For October 2016. Oops. 2016. One more. Okay, here we go, Libra. See all these, okay. It's kind of an interesting reading because I'm seeing some dual, like some contradictions in here. In terms of peace, of where you are, a restful mind, feeling content in some way, but at the same time maybe feeling a little bit lost, okay, and not quite having a solid direction. Now what's interesting here, I don't necessarily see you and your partner. I see you here, King of Swords. So another, I don't know, remember how it was last month, but I feel like it might be another month where it is more about you. Whatever it is you've been going through, there is a very strong message of finality here. Ten of Swords. I feel like you've kind of been through the ringer maybe, and things have been maybe tumultuous, and you are coming to a place where not only is the universe on your side for bringing you to a close of this phase or this particular, era in your life, but you are also physically feeling this sense of finality, that you are feeling done, you are feeling maybe a little bit even exhausted, right? And now you're left to find a new path, essentially, with the Fool. And you are left feeling, I guess, free, okay? Some of you may have been maybe going through a divorce or a breakup. Some of you may even be closing, a period of being single, all right? So it could go really either way. And however this, this closure, however this speaks to you, closure of being single, closure of being in a relationship, closure of whatever, I feel as though there's a new sense of excitement for what is now to come, okay? You have the Hierophant and you have the Hermit. So we have six majors. Oh wow, I didn't even realize. Just the one reversal. So 6 majors here, which is actually a lot. So more intense energies. The good news is these are a little bit more calming, this isn't so big, but I feel like you are attaining a sense of your purpose in the big picture, right? The big picture of your life. And I don't always like to give readings where everything is so existential and so my place in the universe at this point in time, blah, 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 blah. But sometimes we do just feel that way. And we ask ourselves questions, what is this life really about? Is it about the things that cause us stress? Is it about the toxic relationships and the fights that we're having with our partner? Or am I at a point now where I can just let that stuff go because it's been bogging me down, it's been pinning me down, it's preventing me from experiencing the beauty that life has to offer. And that sense of the beauty of what life has to offer is very much a part of this, you know, like I say, your place in the world, your place in the universe, and how you spend the hours in your day. Are you going to spend it fighting? Are you going to spend it with people that don't appreciate you, that take you for granted or take advantage of you? Or are you going to stand up, be the king that you know you are, the intelligent and smart and grounded person that you are, and take hold of how your time is spent. Take hold of your actions and make sure that those actions are meaningful and purposeful. You might be feeling lighter if something left your life, if something is, you know, gone and you are left to rebuild. Like I said, you might feel a little confused in terms of what your life purpose is really supposed to be, but I think you are very content with maybe the new level of simplicity that your life is taking on right now, because the Fool indicates simplicity. He indicates naivete and innocence and, you know, carefree, being carefree, sometimes a little bit too much. But the Fool mixed with the King, I don't foresee trouble. I foresee you taking this quiet solitude, a moment of time to yourself. You know, if you are in a marriage or a long-term relationship, and if you have been going through issues, whether with each other or external issues, now is a time, I think, where you are coming to the conclusion that it is not worth it. It's not worth the effort. It's not worth the heartache and the sorrow and the sadness. And you're ready to just try something else, you know? And this, even though you are a king and you are strong and you're hanging fast to the truth and the acknowledgement of, you know, maybe what this life really is supposed to be, I think the question is, where do I go from here? You know, I am feeling a slight bit of instability with the Nine of Pentacles reverse, that maybe your partner or the people around you or just your life in general is feeling a little bit insecure, and that you are, while you may feel grounded in yourself and you may understand yourself that you are tired of this and that you are happy with this, you know, this sense of peace or this sense of quiet solitude, still there may be external factors, maybe material factors in your life, you know, like if you got a divorce and you had to move out, and where do you go? How are you going to afford things? How are you going to afford a new house? If you are in a new relationship, adjusting to that other person, adjusting to giving them time, giving them your time, giving them your attention, giving them a piece of yourself. And there may just be a little bit of an adjustment period for you. The Hermit, okay, in the reversal indicates to me that while you are maybe living life or viewing your life as part of this much bigger thing, something much bigger than yourself, you still might not quite be totally sure as to what that is. And you may feel like you're just wandering kind of aimlessly in the dark without direction. But oddly enough, this security in insecurity, feeling safety in in a lack of stability, I feel puts you at peace, right? And this, this is a very quiet reading. Like, it's very serene, and sometimes when you come out of this, it's like I know they say the quiet before the storm, but there's also quiet after the storm as well. Once the damage has been done, now is your examination period. You're assessing the damage, right? You're assessing what needs to be done to get it back to equilibrium, to get it back to normal. And you're totally okay with that. And I feel that you know that the stuff that you've been going through, the things that you've been dealing with, are in fact part of something bigger. They are a part of your greater life journey. Again, I hate making it so big, but sometimes it just is. And because of this, you're just content. Okay, I'm going to pull out some more cards here. I feel like that was a very straightforward reading. Yes, very much a moon phase, another major arcana, by the way, and 2 8s. The moon is, even an 18, here we go. The moon is the darkness, right? Like I said, fumbling around. We have the Hermit, which is dark. We have the moon, which is dark. But still, I think you find, or you are finding, or you will find solitude in this darkness, in this mystery part of your life, that that everything is going to be okay. King of Swords, there's a significant amount of faith, right? We have the swords and the Hierophant, which and even the Hermit as well, which do indicate faith, and faith that the guidance is there, faith that there is that greater purpose. And so, as disheveled as you may feel, that when there is supposed to be a sign, that you will see the sign. And that when you're supposed to turn left or right or go up or down, that you will know which way you are supposed to go. And as long as you do what you are meant to do, or what you are supposed to do, and you continue to carry on in this fashion, in a very day-to-day type of fashion, even though your mind may be very high up in the clouds, you're very present in the here and now. And even though you may not feel that stability and may not feel that security, it will come. And that if you put in your time, your labor and your efforts will not be fruitless, that you will find something of substance in what you're doing. All right, and again, the blindfold, right? The 8 of Swords. You can't see the outcome, the darkness, the Hermit. You're not able to see a long-term thing here in this path. I think you're looking very much at tomorrow and the day after tomorrow instead of next month, next year, and that's a perfectly healthy place to be, because coming out of something like this, it's like the one day at a time. What did they say? Never mind. I don't know what they say. But it really is just taking one day at a time and making each day a success, making each day productive and producing something of value each day. And eventually, I think you know that you will be able to see your way out, right? That idea of the sign of faith and knowing that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You just haven't made it close enough to be able to see it yet. And this is very much an indication of healing, an indication of significant personal change, and truly the beginning of a new chapter. And I feel like I say it every month, and I'm starting to get sick of saying it, but you know, every day is a new chapter, every day is a new page, every month there are new opportunities coming in, and there are new circumstances, new people. And you know, as trite and cliche as it may sound, I'm going to keep saying it because it's meant to give you hope. It's meant to hopefully put things in perspective, that there's nothing that a new day, you know, you always have a new day to fix the mistakes of yesterday, or to rectify the mistakes of yesterday, or to not make that mistake again, you know. So just keep that in mind. Very much like I say, a peaceful, quiet reading about you. This story is the same, really, if you are single or if you're in a relationship. If you and your significant other are having a hard time, now is an interesting place for you to be in terms of personal growth. So I'm going to leave you with that. I don't feel like there's anything more that really needs to be said here. So I'm going to go ahead and move into your general. I feel like that top one. We have 3 recurring cards. 1, 2, 3. Leaving 6 additionals. What's interesting is kind of the crossover, right? With the Death card and the Fool card. The crossover of a new beginning running parallel with a closure. And, you know, this isn't the world. It's, you know, we have the Judgment card here, but, you know, we have the second to last and the second to first card, and then we have the very first card. And this is, you know, kind of smack dab in the middle, number 13. And we have several cards that do indicate cycles and closure and new beginnings and yada, yada, yada. But, you know, the world, I feel, indicates a greater cycle. It indicates a greater sense of completion. With the Death card, I don't feel like necessarily you feel complete or you feel like a phase is finished, but rather maybe you've made it through something difficult. Rather, you've made it through something worth mourning, right? And sometimes once we've come to accept a sadness in our life, or accept, and I don't mean to be negative, but even accepting a failure that we've had, or, you know, a heartbreak or disappointment, there is that, you know, very classic pick yourself back up and, you know, get back up on the horse type of mentality with the Fool. the horse. We have the horse here. You know, you get back up on that horse and you try it again. And just like a toddler learning how to walk, they fall down a million times before they can start walking and running like an adult, right? And if you just accept that you maybe didn't quite make it this time, but that there will be another time, you'll get to try it again, and you'll get to give it your best shot again. And then that's really what kind of keeps us going, is that promise or that hope of success. I feel like there's, with the Four of Swords in the last reading, and now we're getting the Judgment card, I do feel like there's clarity in all of this for you, in that you understand where you are, and you understand, you know, I don't feel like there's a lot of questions happening. And while you might not exactly see where you're going, and you may be kind of waiting for news or information, or waiting for communications, waiting for people to come into your life, or waiting for something, you still understand that this was meant for a very specific reason. And I like that intrinsic understanding, right? Because it takes out all the question marks, and it takes out our desire to know why, because you, in a way, already know why. And if you are actually struggling with that idea of why, this is where your intuition kicks in, right? We have the Magician in reverse, and sometimes the Magician kind of comes in and tries to fool us, tries to trick us. That's what the Magician is. He's an illusionist. He gets our minds to see things, and our hearts to, even though our hearts might know the truth, right? And I feel like there's an element of disguise here, you know. I may have said this in your last reading, but it's like getting fired, and those people would say, you know, getting fired was the best thing that ever happened to me. You know, that there's the goodness behind the sadness at the same time. I'm going to get to the Six of Cups now, because I feel that there is such an innocence about you, and such a childlike wonderment about you. There's definitely an air of whimsy with all of this. And whatever new journey you're taking it on like a champion. Queen of Wands, now in the same position as the King of Swords. Love the Queen of Wands. She is powerful and internally motivated, and she has a very strong sense of who she is and her purpose in her life, and the things that she does are very specifically to serve that purpose and to serve what it is she wants out of this time in this human experience. And there's a promise of fulfillment at the end of this, or during this, or, you know, and some of you may be taking on really big life change, like really big endeavors, right? Some of you might really have gone through a period of changing your life. September was a very tumultuous time. There was tons of energy and eclipses and retrogrades and stuff all over the place. And I think Jupiter is moving into your sign. So you have a lot of universal support behind you. And I think you know that, you can feel it. The words like running through your veins is coming to mind, that this internal motivation and this joy and this excitement and this like totally ready to leave the shitty stuff behind. It's so like freeing, you know. Let me pull more. again, Two of Wands. Justice reverse. Maybe there was just something in your life that was unfair. I'm going to leave it at that. Something in your life that was unfair. Something that maybe even still to this day you don't know all the details of, you don't know all the, intricacies of the situation. Again, leaving you feeling like excited and new, but also lost. I feel like maybe some of you have even lost your faith in human goodness to some degree. Whenever the Justice comes out, there's always like that twinge. Even now we have the Magician in reverse. So again, that deception and that trickery or that foolery, right? And someone may be preying on your belief in human goodness and human kindness and generosity of spirit. And like I said, maybe that a little twinge of losing faith in human goodness, but not too extreme, not too severe, just sending you spiraling a little bit, sending you in this state of confusion. But yet Two of Wands is that formation. Okay, so you haven't really gone through the hermit phase yet, or you are still maybe at the beginning stages of that prolonged discovery process, because you're still at the forefront of formulating your life. Maybe you just haven't quite figured out all the details yet. You are at the beginning of some new journey, at the beginning of something significant in your life. And even though you can't see the end game, even if you have no idea where you're going, I know that you are headed in the right direction, and there is a world at the end of the tunnel, that there is something, that you are working for something. And as long as you do that, Eight of Pentacles, you do the day-to-day, you work, you keep your head down, you stay focused, that big picture will come to you, and it will all just sort of come together. Okay, so very similar reading. Again, quiet, a really quiet, serene reading. So I hope that it provided some insights for you. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next month. Bye.